What's going on, you guys? Brian back with you, making another video. Seems to me over the past couple of weeks, dealing with all these fucking pressure changes and reacclimating to the new energies that have been taking place, all these shifts going on. We have been through a roller coaster ride the past fucking week, you guys. Well, not even quite a week yet, but it feels like it's been a week. Feel pretty good today though. Had some pretty good rain. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So out here down at the pond, and I wanted to get on to some positive stuff because, like I said, I felt really aggressive over the past week. Like, I've been doing a lot of transmuting, getting attacked like a motherfucker every night in the astral, and obviously I'm still here, so it's not that big of a fucking deal, but man, it takes a toll on somebody. Today I want to do some rundowns on how do you know that this is your twin. It's one of the probably the most popular types of videos out there. How do you know that this is your twin flame? And I've never gotten into any of that, and I figure, hell, I'll go ahead and give you guys some rundowns, some pointers, some of the things that took place for me personally. First and foremost, the major thing that you feel is the complete gut check. And other chicks have come in my life and they've changed me in ways, but never to the stage where I felt like, man, I really need to address all of these things about me. It's like, for me, I felt like I wasn't good enough until I dealt with some things, and no one else really ever made me look at myself as deeply as she did. Your twin is going to pull all of the stuff out of you that you've been procrastinating on, that you've been hiding, that you've been, that you don't even know that is a problem. There's so many things that come up that you just didn't realize, man, this is something that I need to address too. Over the last couple of years, since I have been working on myself and growing and developing in ways that I needed to, in a sense, like climb into a hole and do some real work on my inner self, my inner peace, who I am, and what I'm here to do. And I feel like I've taken that journey. Your twin is going to push you into that. If you're still sitting around like, is this my twin? Am I really wanting to change for this person? Because this, that, and the other, this has been a part of my life for all, you honestly just don't even question that stuff when it comes to her or your twin. It's like, the truth, you stop lying to yourself and stop trying to convince yourself of situations, right? You stop bullshitting everyone, because it feels like, man, I don't want to ever have to explain that, yep, I was full of shit on this and bullshitting this, and lying to these people, to my twin. I don't ever want to feel that way. So I had to go through some drastic changes, and because I've always pushed the limits with what I've done, with what I do. And I push people to their limits. That's one of the things that being a Heyoka, is your fucking job. Now, I haven't really gone through this journey with a whole lot of grace until really as of late. And people that I talk to, or people that I just have gotten to know over the last couple of years, think that, hey, I'm this fucking swell guy. But I mean, I've really had to learn to control a temper and an anger that, I never really, I felt like I had it under control, but I also had outlets. Like, I would yell at people on the road, and I felt like, okay, I tell myself, hey, it's okay to vent your frustrations in that way, because these people don't give a fuck. They can't even hear you most of the fucking time, and if they do, fuck them. Those aren't people that I care about, so yell at those people instead, and everything's all good. I vent out my frustrations that way. Well, I have even evolved to the point where I don't need to even do that. I don't need to cuss at the guy that cuts me off, because evidently, he's in a bigger hurry than I am. I can get there 5 seconds fucking later if that's really what the cosmos has planned for me. So, oh, they got a little fish over there across the pond. Cool, he's got a little tiny bass. He's probably running a little worm is what it looks like he's using. But, for the most part, when your twin comes into your life, it's gonna be a whole new experience. You're not going. It's gonna be those butterflies you had, like when you would ask the girl to the fucking dance the first time. You get that, and a lot of the times I lost, like, I remember going to ask her to the movies, and I forgot what fucking movie I even wanted to ask her to see. I was like, that new one. I was such a fucking dork. I remember it was fun. And then there's times where, I did, like, she triggered a lot of this stuff out of me. Like, a lot of the channeling came when she came around. And she didn't have dreams. She told me she didn't have dreams, and oddly enough, when we started, hanging out, she started having dreams. One thing that you'll notice, like, certain empaths that you encounter, even if they're not twins, even, all of us are empaths, but you encounter other empaths that aren't necessarily twins, but yours in particular, this definitely holds true. You almost absorb their gifts. So if, like, for instance, I wasn't much of a channeler beforehand, and I come in contact with her and I pick that up. So I never got any confirmation that that's, stuff that she does, but I could only assume that because that really started coming on strong at that stage, that's one of her major gifts. Like, mine is being able to see into other timelines and fucking go back and forth and in between these dimensions and timelines and change and alter things. I fucking have no doubts at this stage that I have personally changed and altered things just from my actions and things that I've done. And I wouldn't have been able to do that and even see that or even understand it or fucking believe it myself if it wasn't with coming in contact with my twin. There are things that you're gonna have doors opened up to you whenever they come into your life. And there's no denying it. Like, all of the number sequences, all of the fucking confirmations just fall in your lap one after another. You'll see I see her name all the fucking time, which is odd because before I met her, I've never really met anyone named that. I never knew anyone, heard of anyone named that, except one particular person that's, like, on TV, we'll say. I don't want to throw that off because it's one of those names, if I give any kind of hint, then it'll be knowledgeable. So yeah, just something on TV, someone on TV, someone of that nature. So seeing it now, it blows my mind every day, and certain little things happen every day that remind me of her, situations that took place with her. And even like now, I'm starting to think about her and just getting broken up, and every time every time I have a shitty day, I think about her. You know, any time that things are really fucking just in a bad way, she brings me out of it. Even still to this day, I just think about her smile and her hugs. Anytime you hug your twin, you know, anytime you're eye to eye with them, you feel the intensity. It's like that's what love is. It's like you finally understand, and you really can't understand until you feel it. Like you can't say, hey, this is the color blue, this is the color violet, this is the number fucking 12. Everyone that knows me knows I'm all about the number 12. Number 12 is always the fucking best. Your twin is number 12. When you feel to the point that you can't control your emotions, right? And we, as masculine as we, the men, we want to control our emotions, and not controlling our emotions scares the shit out of us. Well, guess what? Chicks, shit scares the hell out of them too. The number one thing that all chicks have to have, and it's a different kind of need for all of them, but the one word is security. Security is what all chicks have to have. Now, some chicks need a security a different way than another chick does. Some chicks just need a fucking, pistol under her pillow, and she's secure enough. Some chicks have to have that ring on their finger, whether it's, to the right guy or not. He may just have fucking tons of money, and now she is willing to go through all kinds of abuse because her kids are going to the best schools and this, that, and the other. Her security is for her children, right? So that's her mindset. Some people's security is, because they get to wear a fucking fancy purse. Some security is this person really fucking adores and loves me. Some people will give up everything, all of the fucking fame and fortune for that feeling. That's your twin. I mean, you would give up everything. And you would do everything. I honestly, I wouldn't be trying to convince anyone things. I wouldn't be talking to you about my fucking feelings. I wouldn't have taken this journey the last couple of years if it wasn't for meeting her. If it wasn't for her coming into my life and turning my whole thought process of who I was and who I thought I wanted to be upside down. It's like I had a choice of being one or the other, and I saw each one play out in front of me, and at any given time I could jump back onto that other path because they didn't fork off too far. Then I fucking started taking leaps and bounds and realizing that path was getting further and further away, and I liked where this path was leading me. It was leading me to truth. It was leading me to salvation. It was leading me to peace. And that's what your twin does, is really opens those doors for you to gain the strength to walk through those doors, even on the road to peace and happiness and finding yourself, who you really are and what you're really about. this person comes into your life, you may question things, but you don't doubt. You don't have any doubt. And that's the thing. From day one, the day that I looked into her eyes, and I saw it all. I saw it all, you guys, and I'm still, when I imagine the trip, that instant, looking into her eyes for a length of time, it was like I got these downloads that I never fucking imagined possible. Things opened up to me that I didn't think possible. I started believing in all these fucking snake oils and gypsy witchcraft goodies out there, and fairies and fucking, and not the kind that you find in San Francisco and Atlanta either, but like fucking for real fairies and elves and shit in other dimensions. And it's all a different perspective on what those entities really are, and they're just essentially aliens. Other dimensional beings. Angels. I never believed in the fucking story of angels, and now I'm able to fucking put like my logic around. And man, Richard Dawkins, I was gonna say was one of my heroes, but still is. But it's really odd to say that now, because if Richard Dawkins and I sat and had a conversation, we would be like, I love the man's logic and reason. And in all honesty, I think that I can turn him to what my view of God is. But he is one of the, like, don't believe in any magic, mumbo jumbo, any of the above. But I honestly believe magic is just science that have not been proven yet. It hasn't been discovered. There's so much magic around us, and all of it can be fucking scienced, if you will. There can be us looking at things in a logical and reasonable fucking manner, and have our tools and apparatuses that we can poke and prod and learn about why and how, and be able to replicate that. It's essentially what science is. But when we start filling the holes in with shit that isn't mathematically plausible, like the Big Bang Theory, it's not mathematically plausible. It's because it's a continuous fucking cycle. There is no beginning that fucking started from a one single-celled organism and created this Big Bang. No, motherfuckers, it's a continuous cycle. When we start thinking of things in a linear fashion, beginning, end, we fucking can't figure it out, because there is no linear. There's linear in 3D thoughts, but guess what? This is just one fucking dimension. And once you start getting into what we're getting into is quantum, you stop the linearity. You have no more linearity in the quantum state. And that's what it boils down to. We're just starting to learn quantum. Quantum computers are coming out, right? So you've got a couple of quantum computers that can essentially talk in between dimensions. Guess what? If any computer can do anything, so can this one. We only use part of our brains. When you start accepting that you can unlock the quantum part of your brain, you really fucking are able to walk back and forth in between these dimensions, and you can see these fucking interdimensional beings, and you can feel their presence, you can smell them, and I can't say you can taste them yet. I haven't ever tasted an interdimensional being, but I understand that they're fucking there now. And I haven't physically gone and touched one. So I haven't touched and tasted yet, but I can feel their presence. I smell their presence. You know, you have other senses. You just don't have your basic 5, you have that 6. And you have, in all honesty, all the way to 12 when you open up these other chakra points. I'm still learning how those other senses work. The way I understand it, I'm not going to be able to explain anything on any situation until I can learn it to the point where I can teach it. So I don't feel like I can really say, hey, this, that, and the other. until I can teach how I did the shit. Till I can replicate it. The fact that I have the thought process of the scientific realm, of logic and reason, has made this whole fucking twin flame thing really a long journey for me. I think that's why I was put in the situations that I've been put into, because in all honesty, I wouldn't be walking down this path if I wasn't absolutely pushed down this path, or even dragged by my twin, right? I would have never fucking, the carrot on the stick had to be the best fucking carrot on the stick in all of the cosmos for me to fucking take down this path. Otherwise, I would have said, fuck that. There's an amount of compensation that I'd fucking take to walk down that goddamn path, y'all. And that's how I lived my life until she came into it. It was like, holy Jesus, I'm gonna fucking, yes ma'am, I'm gonna walk down this path. Yes ma'am, I'm walking down this path with a smile on my face even. That's when you know that's your twin. It's like there are things that you just completely would fucking change in a heartbeat all of a sudden. That in all honesty I thought was me. I said, no, I'm not changing that shit. That's me. I'm an asshole. That's what makes me me. I can't just stop being a fucking asshole and be a nice guy. What in the fuck? There's only certain people I'm allowed to be nice guy to. People that I like and love. I'm supposed to all of a sudden start being nice guy to fucking everybody? Ugh. I mean, the whole fucking idea of it sounded like distasteful. It sounded like something, like, what? I need to eat poo? Ugh. And I swear to God, that's exactly how it felt. But all of a sudden, she comes in my life and it's like, hell yeah, I'll eat poo. I mean, not really, but hell yeah, I'll be nice to people and use my fucking gifts to go and change people's lives and just fucking start fires of liberty under people's asses and get people motivated and get this show on the fucking road. And that's all I have to do. I don't have to do everything. I just need to start some fucking fires under certain people's asses. And that's exactly what I did. And it's fucking awesome that the right people came into my life and I'm able to do what I'm able to do. And then get things jump-started. I love being that person now. I love being that nice guy. I don't need to go and get paid and get a pat on the back. I don't need to... getting baked goods is nice, and I get a lot of baked goods from my customers, so, I probably don't need to, say, ladies, you can send me some baked goods, and I would fucking love that shit. No, because then I'll have some baked goods that I wouldn't know what to do with. Maybe I'll start passing baked goods out to my customers, or have more stuff that I can, giving the homeless money is not what you need to do. Giving, the homeless baked goods is what you need to do. Giving the homeless, a little plastic bag with some fucking toothbrush and toothpaste and some deodorant and shit like that, that's what you need to be giving these motherfuckers. And they're happy as hell. They're like, yeah, deodorant, toothpaste, They're getting that shit. It's like, here you go. I'm sorry I'm not going to contribute to whatever is keeping you here in this situation, but I'm going to help fucking give you a clean grill and clean fucking smelling good armpits. That makes me feel good about myself. It only costs maybe fucking $5. So instead of giving that guy $5, you just made fucking the next week to a month that much cleaner for that person. Makes me feel like I'm doing my job. So your twin will make you start thinking about these things, thinking about changing the world. you know, because you're sent here to do that. You're sent here to change the world, you guys. And all of us are strong enough to do it by ourselves, essentially. We don't need all the masses, you know. You only need 144,000 of us to change the world. That's it. When you read about the Revolutionary War, I want you to remember that it was only roughly 17% of America fought and won our independence. We fought against Southern loyalists because guess what? There's plenty of folks that lived in the South that was selling their cotton to King George and getting plenty of fucking ducats in return. They were like, hell yeah, this is what we're gonna fucking do. We're going to fight against this whole revolution. And we did. We had to fight our own folks, you guys. We didn't even fight the British in a lot of battles. We fought fucking Americans. We still won our independence. So it doesn't take a majority to change things. It takes a very small, tireless minority to light the brush fires of liberty under the asses of the citizens that need to have those fires lit under. And that's what creates change. Not the news, not marching in the streets. Talking to the right people and getting them to understand. Getting them to go and do what they need to do in their lives. That's what your twin will make you do. Take those steps. Jump through those doors. Leaps and bounds even. So, hopefully that explained a little bit to you guys. Hopefully that gave you guys plenty to go out there and start looking at the signs. You know, the cosmos is going to give you these signs all around, and you're just going to have to fucking wake up and pay attention to them. You're going to have to accept that that shit is real, and society is trying to make you think it's not, but it's for real. I love you guys. Peace out. So, it's funny, I'm finally now walking back from the pond, maybe like an hour after I stopped videoing that end of the video. And I just wanted to chime back in real quick. I'll throw this on to the end of the video as kind of a PS type of thing. Met a guy down there, one of the guys that was fishing. Turned out to be a old military guy, or not old, he's actually my age, but been through a lot of fun stuff, and we got to talking about the fun conspiracy theories and all the other stuff that's going on in the world. And once again, confirmation. People fall on my lap that know things that you generally don't see on the news, right? Because they're for real doing these things. They're over there doing this shit. And it just blows my mind how the cosmos just has somebody, bloop, fall into your lap that essentially gives you confirmation. I was just talking about how your twin does that, and how things will come into your life to give you confirmation, to help you remember that and believe it. It's the fucking truth, you guys. It happens to me every day. So what I want you guys to do is open your fucking eyes, dude, and watch for the confirmation, watch for the signs, and please, you guys, learn as you go and adapt and grow. That's what this is all about. Peace out. I love y'all.